Kahalal Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, double honors unto the apostles of GMS who rule well, and salutations unto the elect pushing the truth of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. Alright, this lesson is going to deal with Isaiah 56. This is a kind of a recap. Someone asked me a question online, and I was answering the question, and I just said I'm just going to do a video on it, because it brought me back to the foundations as well, man. It kind of, tested my sharpness, and I kind of got all into it, and I got excited, so I just said I'm going to just do a video on it, because I remember Apostle Ariam Lab, he went into this, and I regret one thing though, because I used to have an article right on this topic, on this chapter, because if you look up this chapter online, for example, if you just type in, let me see, Isaiah 56, right, and the title's right there, Salvation for Others, right, because that's like a scripture that, or a chapter that they think applies to all nations, right? So we're just going to get straight into it. This is the Isaiah 56:1. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, keep ye judgment and do justice, for my salvation is near to come, and my righteousness to be revealed. Blessed is the man that doeth this, and the son of man that layeth hold on it, that keepeth the Sabbath from polluting it, and keepeth his hand from doing any evil. Neither let the son of the stranger that hath joined himself to the Lord speak, saying, the Lord hath utterly separated me from his people. Neither let the eunuch say, behold, I am a dry tree. Now, Salakia, the first thing I'm going to get, which one of the points is in verse 3, is the stranger. The whole question came from Isaiah 14, which the apostles broke down, and these other bootleg camps, they cannot understand. This is Isaiah 14:1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land. And the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. So they read the first part, Jacob and Israel, then they read the strangers, and they say that's talking about the heathens, the other nations. The apostles done broke it down to you, alright? And he that hath ears and eyes, let him hear and see, right? If you can receive it. The strangers here is talking about Israelite foreigners, right? Because why the hell would other nations cleave to the house of Jacob? All right, when you cleave to your mother, that's that's a spiritual, that's how should I put this? A very intimate bond. So these other nations are not going to cleave to us. They're going to be within our realm, but they're going to be in hardcore slavery. A baby doesn't cleave to a mother in a negative way. That's a very positive way if you think about it, right? If you think about it. Now we're going to look up this word strangers, because there's two different words. Again, this is a recap. The word stranger is gar in the Hebrew. Okay, so gar refers to, as it says, sojourner, a temporary inhabitant, a newcomer lacking inherited rights of foreigners in Israel, though conceded rights. Gar refers to Israelite foreigners. So you had Israelites that were living in the land of Israel, and you also had Israelites that lived outside of Israel, and they would come and visit. Alright, same thing with Israelite tribes today. Right, any Israelite in their respective land, whether in South America, Central America, the islands, if you leave your certain country, you come to America or you come to Canada, and then you live here for 10-15 years, and all of a sudden you take a trip back, what do they call you? They call you a foreigner, right? They call you, you're not so-called native. You're not like those people living in that land. There's something strange. You're like an alien. The same concept was back in the ancient world. If you look up these things, we're going to look up the scriptures that the next translation for stranger refers to or is written in. Right. So verse 2, it says, and the people shall take them. So this them right here is not talking about the strangers that we read in verse 1. The stranger shall be joined with them. This them is talking about, now it's talking about the nation. See, the scriptures, man, is a parabolic book. It's a very metaphoric at times book. Sometimes it's straight to the point, plain. A lot of different times it's parabolic. That's why Yahushua in Matthew 13, he spoke to them in parables, and the disciples even asked, why do you speak to these people in parables? And he said, matter of fact, we can read it. You know, let me not speak, let me read it. Matthew 13. You know, Yahushua spoke to the detriment of other people's understanding. Verse 13. Yeah. Matthew 13 and 9. Who hath ears to hear, let him hear. And the disciples came and said unto him, why speakest thou unto them in parables? And he answered and said unto them, because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given. So he had the spiritual power to discern who's not meant for this, man. And that power is coming back. A lot of you guys, how do you know Apostle Tahar, or you guys in GMS, you know Apostle Kabar? You guys just you guys just tell certain people it's not for them? Well, the Most High gave them the power. He gave them the spiritual power. Doesn't it say in the book of Corinthians that there's different gifts that the Most High give? And isn't one of those gifts the discerning of spirits? Those powers are coming back, man. You guys that are talking shit, man, you know, you guys don't know what the hell you're talking about. You know, it says speaking things that you don't know. Roughly paraphrasing. Verse 12. For whosoever hath, to him shall be given, and he shall have more abundance. But whosoever hath not, from him shall be taken away, even that he hath. Therefore speak I to them in parables, because they seeing see not, and hearing they hear not, neither do they understand. Verse 14. And in them is fulfilled the prophecy of Isaiah, which saith, by hearing ye shall hear, and shall not understand, and seeing ye shall see, and shall not perceive. For this people's heart is waxed gross, and their ears are dull of hearing, and their eyes they have closed, lest at any time they should see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and should understand with their heart, and should be converted, and I should heal them. So Mosai literally sealed Israel, a certain amount of Israelites, which we know is 2/3. He sealed their eyes that they do not see. He sealed their ears that they do not hear, lest they understand and be healed. Plain and simple, man. So verse 2, Isaiah 14:2, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord Yahweh for servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives. That doesn't sound like cleaving. Remember, cleaving is a very nourishing action. You cleave to your mother's breast, you get that nourishment, man. Right? And they shall take them captives as captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors, man. Because like the apostles said, in the old school, they broke down verse 1 as being the strangers being other nations, but the Spirit brought it out, man, that these are talking about Israelite foreigners, strangers, and hence you look up the word stranger, it's gar. Now we're going to get the word that is talking about heathens. Okay, now we're going to go back here. So it says, neither, verse 3, Isaiah 56:3, neither let the son of the stranger that hath joined himself to the Lord. So you're talking about heathens can join themselves to the Lord? Speak, saying, the Lord hath utterly separated me from his people. Neither let the eunuch say, behold, I am a dry tree. Okay, now we're going to get this word stranger. And like I said before, I regret that I don't have this article anymore. I used to have an article dealing with, maybe some of you brothers still have it, because there's an old article that it was passed around back when the apostles first came on YouTube. But it was dealing with Isaiah 56, as you see right here, Masoretic text. The Masoretes were basically Khazars, Amalekites, in the 10th or 9th century AD. They were using the Masoretic text. So a lot of these things they actually manipulated, and they changed certain things to make them apply in a corruptible fashion. So when you read Isaiah 56, they actually changed the word stranger to nakar. So remember, we looked up gar right here, just to go back. right? Gar, right? This is talking about Israelite foreigner. Nakar is the word used for an actual heathen. We'll look it up. See, Nakar, which means foreign, alien, foreigners. Foreignness, that which is foreign, alien, right? This is actually the word for a heathen, a literal heathen, because you got Israelite heathens, because they don't know who they are. But what the Masoretes did, and you can look up the Masoretes, the history, they were so-called scholars, biblical. You have the Masoretic texts and the manuscripts, which is the King James is based off of mainly. They took the word stranger here, they changed it from gar, and they put in the text nakar to make it seem like the other nations can join themselves. But through easy precepts that you can get, you can clearly see that it doesn't make sense. Alright? And the article, man, that's why I just regret that I don't have it. Lord's will, if I find it again, I'll do a lesson definitely on it. But it was dealing with, now I remember clearly, Isaiah 56 chapter. The whole chapter, and the guy was breaking it down that, listen, it's not talking about the other nations, it's literally talking about Israelite foreigners, strangers. And they changed the word gar to nakar. And Apostle Aramlab did a lesson on this years ago, I remember. Like 6-7 years ago. It was even on Daily Motion when YouTube was kicking Israelites off YouTube. So what I wanted to do, right? Because like I said, you can look up the precepts. We can look up where this word nakar is used. And we could add 1 + 1. Let's go to Exodus. This is a great scripture right here. Exodus 12:43. This is dealing with the Passover. And the Lord said unto Moses and Aaron, this is the ordinance of the Passover. There shall no stranger eat thereof. So this word here is nakar, which means other nation. That's what you know it's talking about another nation. And how do you further prove that? Just go into the same chapter, because the word stranger is also used throughout here. And we're going to go to the 19th verse. Okay. It says, 7 days shall there be no leaven found in your houses, for whosoever eateth that which is leavened, even that soul shall be cut off from the congregation of Israel, whether he be a stranger or born in the land. And remember I said, you have Israelites born in the land, lived in the land, they're native to the land. Then you have Israelites that were born outside of Israel, and they will come, maybe that family or whatever the case is, right? They were known as strangers. Now let's look up this word stranger here in the 19th verse, right? So we look, stranger, right? Stranger, 19th verse, stranger in the 43rd verse. People reading for face value, they're thinking, it's stranger. So in the 43rd verse, it says, no stranger shall eat thereof. But here it's talking about a stranger keeping the Passover as well. Keeping the custom, keeping one custom of the Passover, or one ordinance, which is not having any leaven in your house. And we're going to look up this word stranger. As you see right here, the word is gar, which is what? An Israelite foreigner. You see that? An Israelite foreigner, gar, which is the same word in Isaiah 14:1 for stranger, who can cleave unto the Lord. Okay? So you might be scratching your head saying, well, what the fuck's going on? So we're going to go back. Okay, that was at Exodus 14 or 12:43. Okay, so again, we can look up scriptures where nakar is found for stranger and apply it. Leviticus 22:25. Neither from a stranger's hand shall ye offer the bread of your power and of any of these, because their corruption is in them and blemishes be in them. They shall not be accepted for you. Right, and you can go throughout the scriptures and just apply it, man. Isaiah, look, the book of Isaiah 56. They changed 56, like I said. But look at chapter 60. And the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls, and their kings shall minister unto thee. For in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor have I had mercy on thee. That's talking about other nations. They're going to build up our walls, man. Trump is going to build up the wall in the kingdom, man. Right? Verse 5, Isaiah 61:5. And strangers shall stand and feed your flocks, and the sons of the alien shall be your plowmen and your vine dressers, which is what? Servitude. So you're talking about Israelite foreigners are going to be servants? No. Alright? Isaiah 62:8. The Lord Yahweh hath sworn by his right hand and by the arm of his strength, surely I will no more give thy corn to be meat for thine enemies, and the sons of strangers shall not drink thy wine, for which thou hast labored. And you can link this up with Deuteronomy 28. Right? Because it says we shall dress the vineyards but not drink the wine thereof. We shall build houses but not dwell therein. Talking about the literal heathens, our enemies. Okay? But like I said, but then you read Isaiah 56 and you're fucking mind blown. No. Strangers can join. But all these other verses are talking about how they're going to be servants and captives under the Israelites, man. You got to add 1 plus 1. Alright? And like I said, you can go throughout where Nakar is found. Strange gods, right? Judges 10:16, and they put away the strange gods from among them and served the Lord, and his soul was grieved for the misery of Israel. Literally strange gods. That's what the same word Nakar. This is where Nakar is found, so you can go throughout it. I'm not going to go through all the scriptures, so I want to go back to Isaiah 56. We're going to keep reading. That's just a little thing that I just wanted to show you, brothers. Verse 4. For thus saith the Lord unto the eunuchs that keep my Sabbaths, and choose the things that please me, and take hold of my covenant, even unto them will I give in mine house, and within my walls a place and a name better than of sons and of daughters. I will give them an everlasting name that shall not be cut off. Also, again, verse 6, also the sons of the stranger that joined themselves to the Lord, to serve him, and to love the name of the Lord, to be his servants, everyone that keepeth the Sabbath from polluting it, and taking hold of my name. Again, they put that word Nakar there, but it's supposed to be Gar, because the heathen cannot join himself to the Lord. Yeah, actually in the kingdom, you're going to have literal heathens. They're going to serve the Lord and they're going to keep the name. But in this scripture, it's talking about Israelite foreigners. Okay? Verse 7, even them will I bring to my holy mountain, and make them joyful in my house of prayer. These are the nations, man. They're not going to be joyful. I don't give a damn what scripture you pull out. They're not going to be joyful. Revelation 13:9 and 10, it says, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword shall be killed with the sword, man. When you're getting killed with the sword and in captivity, that doesn't sound joyful, man. Okay? Their burnt offerings and their sacrifices shall be accepted upon mine altar. From mine house shall be called an house of prayer for all people. Verse 8, the Lord power, which gathereth the outcasts of Israel, saith, yet will I gather others to him beside those that are gathered unto him. You see, and I'm going to read that out of the Apocrypha. Okay, this is 2 Ezra 2 and 5. As for me, O Father, I call upon thee for witness over the mother of these children, which would not keep my covenant, the Israelites, that thou bring them to confusion, and their mother to a spoil. Right? That there be no offspring, that there may be no offspring of them. Verse 7. This is one of my favorite scriptures, man. Let them be scattered abroad among the heathen. Let their names be put out of the earth, for they have despised my covenant, man. You see, so if your name is put out of the earth, what the hell are you known as? You're known as an alien. You're known as an outcast. You're known as a heathen, man. So these are Israelites that their names have been put out. Man, in the ancient world, you had Israelites being called Romans, Gauls, Saxons, Germanic tribes, all kinds of names, man. Foul-ass names. Barbarians, Berbers, Moors. You had all these names except the true identity of who they are. Israel. Plain and simple, man. You know? And that was it. That was short and sweet. You know, I hope you brothers are edified. That was really the point that the Spirit got on me to do it. You know, hey, man, sometimes it's good to go back to basics. You know, you always got to go back to your basics, sharpen up your sword, man. You know, because I remember this chapter, you know, when I first came true, I was like stumbled. I'm like, shit, man, what is this really talking about? Then the Apostle did the video, and then I found the article on the Masoretes. You know, they change these words, but again, when you read with the understanding, right, because it says in Proverbs, with all that getting, get understanding. So you get all this wisdom and knowledge, but you got to get understanding, man. You know, so again, I want to say, Ka halal Yahweh ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. Double honors unto the apostles of GMS who I learned the truth from. And Salutations unto the elect, pushing the truth of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Until next time, I say Shalom.